Hello and welcome finally to a new episode of my podcast. Welcome to Nomade Knitter.
Sometimes life goes easy, sometimes life goes do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Sometimes minds go crazy, sometimes minds go do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
So, today is podcast episode number 7. It's actually a lot, I feel like, and I feel like I don't know how to do it anymore, but I'm gonna try my best and try not to make it way too chaotic. Welcome to all the new knitters and crafters that are following my channel. Thank you so much, and welcome to our little community here. I'm really happy to have you here, and also welcome to everybody who's been here before. My name is Linene. I am 28 years old. I just turned 28, so good that I said it right. And I am pregnant. I am like almost 6 months pregnant. You can't see it much, but you can see it though. Wait. So I'm almost 6 months pregnant. So this channel will probably change a little bit in the future, but for now, this is me. I knit a lot. I love to share with you and the internet. I love to share with you my ceramics that I buy and get from friends. I love to share the surroundings where I live and just everyday things that inspire me and that I spend my time with. So I don't know, it's gonna be chaotic, it's going to be wild, it's going to be a little bit boring sometimes, because that is how life is. I'm trying to keep it exciting, my videos, but sometimes I'm like living this very ordinary life. I work also in a cafe, or it's more like a bakery and a coffee house, so I make coffee, I serve food, and I take orders and sell bread. That is how I make my living. And yeah. And today I want to show you some things, because I haven't uploaded a podcast since July. It was kind of chaotic. Now, especially if you're new, you don't know anything, but as I was in my first trimester of my pregnancy, I had no creativity at all. I felt so tired, and it was just a whole new thing for my whole body and mind and spirit. So I had my knitting needles aside, and I was just not amused at all. I had really a very low interest or motivation in knitting at all. Very new to me, very new. Now I'm back since a few weeks or maybe a month. I've been back on being creative and feeling my creative self and feeling the need to knit and feeling this need, like, I just knit. That's what I want. I look forward to knit. If they have gone a day without knitting, I feel weird, and it's nice to have that back. And that is me. My body now got used to having this new human being being grown inside of me, and yeah, it's changing every day. Right now it's like it's a baby that kicks, and I feel it, and I feel that there's real life in there, and that's amazing. But I'm creative. I knit again. I knit for me. I knit some things for the baby. I knit for friends. Yeah, let me show you what I got, what I worked on. Oh yes, and I live together with my partner here, center north of Denmark, with my partner Teve. We moved here recently from Germany, but I am also Danish and German kind of mix. That is not easy to tell. And I think already now I'm getting warm from the tea and from talking. Yes, what I'm wearing today, I forgot. See, I told you, podcast weirdness. So I'm wearing this Collett cardigan by Witre design, and I have these homemade buttons made of ceramic. It's just a huge cardigan. I love these buttons. I made them myself. They're a little bit too thick, so they're really heavy. I made them at a friend's studio. Well, way too warm. It was cold before, but now the sun just came in. And underneath I'm wearing my outline tee by Jessie May Design. It has these outlines on the sides, in the middle. It's really a very nice but very basic squared kind of drop shoulder construction t-shirt. And that's really nice to have on over these turtleneck mock neck things. Yeah, that's what I'm wearing. And I'm wearing some socks. Really old, not old, but from last year. Very used socks that I knit myself also. Sunday socks by Petite knit, they are. Then we got that out of the world, that I don't forget it. And now, let me show you what I finished. So I'm just going to start with the baby things. It's only 2. I have so many knitted baby things from my family. From my mom, that she knitted for my siblings' kids, for my nieces, nephews, and things my aunt knitted for her, I think. I have a huge box of a lot of nice knitted things, so I'm not really needed to knit a lot for myself, but I am of course going to do that. Knit things for my child. I think I will knit some bigger sizes so that it will be for later, maybe. I don't know yet. I'll see what happens. But I finished this little cute strawberry hat. I always wanted it when I was a kid. Everybody had it, but I didn't have it. I don't know why I never had it and why I never wished for it. But something about this one I just always wanted. Oh, the light is not good. Well, can you see it? Strawberry hat. It's just the free pattern on Drops. And this yarn is like Sunday. The Sunday yarn from Sandnes Garn, and this top green one is from Drops yarn. It's Flora. I did some things wrong. I think the increases weren't quite right, and it looks huge. It's the newborn size, and I still don't understand why it's so big, but the things I knit are really big. I'm a loose knitter, as it turns out. So, but this is cute, and this is going to be hell of a cute baby. And yes, next one. I'm gonna keep it chop. I mean, since July, but it's still not so much. So I was wondering, like I was looking in my pictures on my phone, like didn't I finish anything? But yeah, the motivation was so low, there was nothing producing, and really weird. If you see my old videos, you realize that I knit a lot, and I always finish a lot. And it's also nice to finally have that low and be like starting on the bottom and start, yes, from the beginning kind of. And I also promised in one last podcast that I wanted to do them more often, so that they don't go too long and then I accumulate too many things and then I have to show too many things. So I want to actually post a podcast every month. I think that's also very normal to do, but in the past there's been a long time between, like 2 months, and now it's been like July, end of July, so it's a lot of months. Yeah. Oh, and let me show you this cup. My friend Maren, she brought it with her from New Zealand to me. I love it. Next one. I finished this one. It's an Ankers sweater. You might have seen it if you know my old videos. colorful scrap yarn. Very basic. This pattern I've knitted many times for other people, and this is the first one that I'm knitting for my own child. And it's the most colorful one so far. So the base color is gray. It's a Flora. It's the Flora yarn from Drops also. I had a lot of those. And then all the scraps are just, I'm trying to finish my scrap basket, and I'm almost succeeding. So this is just the small size, I think the smallest maybe. Or it seems quite big, right? I don't know, it's a while ago I finished it. It must be maybe 3 months, 6 months, something like that. I had fun. I had a lot of fun doing that, and that was the first scrap project in a while, and it really woke my scrap creativity. I felt it was so much fun to change colors and see how they change, and see how a very basic pattern can turn out very colorful and very fun. So this kit is going to be very colorful and fun. What did I want to say now? Yes, I want to show you the one thing I finished this summer. I started a few projects in summer and I frogged some. Like I started on Look at My Holes by James & Watts. And I have never done lace work before. It worked out well, but I lost my motivation and I needed the needles, so I frogged it. It's frogging, it's still there somewhere. That was one summer project, and then I have another summer project that was actually finished. It's the Alice top. Alice top by Petite. Brown. Not at all my fit. I haven't even worn it. Like I put it on once and I realized it's not my thing. I think I will try it again and see in summer how it goes. In summer my boobs will be all different from because I'm gonna be breastfeeding, but maybe it will look better then. I don't know. I think it's a nice top. Like my mom was always wearing one, and that's why I wanted to knit it, because it looked so good on her. And now I knitted this over the summer, and it was like the one thing I knitted, but I had when I had no motivation, and I really didn't feel nice while knitting it because I was so having all those symptoms from the pregnancy. So there's a lot of emotions in this knit. I knitted in a lot of like painful emotions because I was just pukey and tired and not motivated. So Alice top, I'm trying to give a new life. I'm trying to in summer I'm trying to see if I can give it some good memories, because this pregnancy is good and I feel good now. It's just this one was just all my anger went into this one, but I finished it. It's the Alice top. I used a yarn from Hjertegarn that's called green cotton linen, so it's a cotton linen mix. I just have to check my notes. 85% organic cotton and 15% linen, and I held that double. Yes, it looks really nice. Like it's a really nice fabric. I really enjoy this brown fabric. Another thing I've finished and I'm not so happy about because it's way too long. I don't know what happened to this hat. Like, it's way too long. Doesn't look like that actually on the photo, on the camera now, but it's long. Should have been this, like it should have finished here. It's the Oslo hat by Petite, and I had a lot of fun knitting it for that what's worth, and it's this blue alpaca yarn instead of the silk mohair I used a very thin alpaca thread to hold together with the other alpaca yarn called, it's also from Hjertegarn. It's called Hjerte Alpaca and Alpaca 400. That's like the names of the yarn. And I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up down to under the increases, and then here start the increases here, I think, because this is way too big. Like, I don't know what happened there. I trusted the pattern too much, and then I probably read something wrong. Or I just knit weird, and then I didn't trust my intuition because I saw it was too long, and I still like keep going. So that is that. The last two fun things. One of them, hey, there's one more thing. Like there's two things now and one more thing. Because at one more thing I forgot that it was also a finished object. Okay, so I told you I got into the scrap yarn project and I wanted to use up my scrap yarns. So I needed something to warm my throat because I didn't want to wear Alice scarves. No, what are they called? Sophie scarves for the rest of my life, every day. So I created this one, this neck warmer with all these scrap yarns. Ooh, I think it's really great. The back especially. The back is the nicest because that's when I got the most used to working with the colors and mixing them. This is like my favorite combination, the white and the blue, I think. I also like this brown and orange and the neck. I think it's really nice. It's so soft and I love it. I wear it every day when I bike to work. It's called the Hitchhiker Neckwarmer from Sektakelstrik, and I love it. There's not much to say. It was a nightmare to sew in all the ends though, but I just made knots. I feel like some of them are opening a little bit. I'm gonna check them out. But it was so worth it, and I really succeeded with some Italian bind off, even though it's not the most pretty, but I am glad I did. So yeah, happy about this one. Okay, and one more of these, the same one. I knitted one more because there was a woman on my Instagram who said, can I buy it? And I was like, no, it's not for sale, but I can knit you another one. So I knit her another one with also scraps. I messed up the back though, because the back, if you could see, is not much bigger than the other one. It should have been bigger, but I did the increases too often. But I think it's okay. It's like still warm enough. I think it's also really, it's like most yellows and greens. It's because you always need one also silk mohair to go through the whole thing, and here I only had a yellow one, so yellow is the main theme. I think this one really turned out well, this neck too. And it's really stiff because mine is a little bit like opening up because I wore it a lot. This one is still like good and tight on the neck. Yeah, I think it's so fun. So these ones were a part of Martina from We Grow Wild's knit along called Scrap Me Good Mel. So it's a make along, not a knit along. These two Hitchhiker Neckwarmer. So I got a lot of scraps used on these two, as you can probably imagine. All my DK way yarns I could hold double, and when I had some fingering yarn it would be 4 together with plus the silk mohair strand. Oh yeah, and for this one it's a gray that's everywhere, gray silk mohair. You can't see it. Yeah, so they were really fun. Those I was really addictive to see how the colors changed. And I'm going to knit another one soon for Teve. My partner, he asked for one. He bought some colors. We bought new colors because my basket doesn't have any colors left. It only has, like my scrap yarn basket has only grays. Some grays and some blacks. So he bought some colors. I'm going to show you at the end of the video. I'll try to show all the yarn I bought. But I kind of went crazy the last few months. No, this last month, October, I think I bought a lot of yarn, so I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I mean, that's what a podcast is about, right? Oh, the last one, wait. The last finished object, but not least, you have maybe seen before. It's also a Scrappy project. I just remembered that this was actually one of the first, like that was after the baby sweater. I made this one with like big scraps, like yarns where I had whole balls of yarn for. Like the other things are just with like tiny scraps. And this one is also from Sektakelstrik. It's the Bombastic Bomber. As you can see, it's like this loose, fluffy jacket with this I-cord edge all over, all around. And these yarns, I know there's some Isager sock yarn and some Filcolana sock yarn and some black Sandnes, I think the black is Sandnes Garn. The grey is some Ladybug hand-dyed, or not non-dyed grey, and some hand-dyed from Ladybug here with these, probably can't see, but it has like some sprinkles of color, and the orange one is that sock yarn. And it's always hold double with some, like this is a really thick yarn, so you're holding also here four fingering yarns together, I think. And one is always brushed alpaca or silk mohair. This one is such a fun project because it's on thick needles, pretty quick. It's a raglan cardigan, and as I say, thick needles, so it's like really quick. Kind of like this. It's going to be my last fluffy sleeve thing for a while because I'm really annoyed by them. Because these fluffy arms always go into when I cook or when I do things, and I need it to be out of my way because I always cook or, you know, knit, or when I go into my rain jacket, it's really slim, so it cannot be with too big things. So next projects are going to have slim arms. That's also the fit I like the most. Just somehow it's really in with the big fluffy arms, and I've done it a few times and I like it, but it's not practical, as I said. Okay, so let's go on to the whips. Work in progress. There's been a few. And I will start again with the baby one, because there's only one baby one. And 3 sweaters. Or 1 cardigan and 2 sweaters in the making. Okay. This one I love. This one I love. Oh, I love it so much, and I want it for myself too, in my size. So this one I wanted to make for a while, but as I didn't have any child of my own coming, I didn't want to make it for friends because it's a lot of yarn, and I thought it's too expensive. Because I was poor. Or not poor, but I wasn't rich. So now that it's for my own child, I really invested in buying some good Sandnes yarn. But I'm also considering to make it soon, maybe out of the last scraps that I have, in a smaller size for the newborn, and this one is for the bigger, like this is for when the baby is a year, I think. Or maybe younger. I don't know anymore the size of this one. So it is the Selma sovedrakt, so like a sleeping thing for a baby, with a hat, and I'm just working on the body, and then there will come some legs, and it's like a whole onesie. And I already put some buttons. They were on sale because it was like a lot of mixed things that I think they didn't belong to any other buttons anymore. Just lost buttons, and she had a basket in one shop. I was selling all these different colors, and I picked them. They're really sweet. It's really cute. It's really cute. I'm like, imagine having a body like that for yourself, like a onesie knitted. I don't know if it makes sense. I think I'm going to sweat too much, so I'm not gonna make that, but just the thought of it. But I'm really happy about this one, but it's also being paused at the moment. I haven't knitted much on it the last few weeks, so it's just staying in this little bag. As I said, yeah, it's a Double Sunday by Sandnes Garn, the yarn, in a green color. I don't know if that's important to tell you the numbers of the colors. Maybe. Let me know if you're interested. I can always write it in the comments if you need to know. Okay. And this is also, the next whip is the one that has also been in the works for a little while. I started it in summer, but I keep working on it on and off again. It is the Novice cardigan by Petite Knit. Almost done with one sleeve, done with the body, and then there's the button band missing. I don't like button bands, really. I really hate to knit on things afterwards. So that's also one last time doing a pattern like that, I hope. And also here, the same thing with the sleeves that I was saying, no more big sleeves. So I'm going to rip back till here, and then I'm going to knit it again with increases, because it was not with increases in the pattern. I mean, it's an easy cardigan, so that's how easy she wants to make it for everybody, but I don't like it. Frankly, I don't like it. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work. I'm using this organic alpaca yarn, also from Hjertegarn. This is because we have a shop here in the city with all these Hjertegarn things, and they're really good, really nice prices, really affordable, and really good yarns. So this is organically dyed alpaca yarn, and I bought like 10 balls of yarn for 100 kroners. It's like 13 euros. It's not a lot, and I bought 10 of these on sale. That's why they were so cheap. On sale, she was really cleaning out. And I'm holding it double with silk mohair all the time, and it's like kid silk from drops that I had in my stash, because it's also kind of a scrappy project. That is in my, that's my thing at the moment, scrappy projects. And the colors, as you can see, is only the silk mohair that I changed the color of. So the red, and there's some brown, and then there's a beige and a silver. Like silver is gray, but I mean you can probably not see the difference. But here's some beige, and this is gray, I think. Yeah, you can see, maybe. And the brown line here is a brown silk mohair. I really like it. It's really fun. Really fun, and it's really Scandinavian. I think these colors could look a little Norwegian. I think it's gonna be a really nice and warm thing to have. And I just have to finish up the sleeves and the button band and find some nice buttons for it. Or without buttons, I don't know. Yeah, I'm keeping it in my basket and hoping that I find the muse to finish it soon. Because it's sometimes annoying to have things laying around a long time. When you really want to wear them, but you also want to enjoy the time knitting them. But that's a project I just really want to finish and wear. And now, next up. You remember the cardigan I was wearing at the beginning of the video, Collett jacket. This one is the Collett sweater that I'm inspired by. Like, I'm going to change in it. But this is and was the beginning of... Oh my god, it's so dark. Maybe if I turn a little bit. Yeah, it's really hard to see on these small needles. But this is also a scrap project, of course. As you can see how the colors are changing. That's like also leftovers of drops yarn, drops alpaca, held together with some kind of fluffy yarn that I don't know when it's from. It's a long time ago, this dark brown. And then I'm using some unspun yarn from Ladybug. Ladybug, I'm holding here the gray together with the brown. This brown is like hand spun yarn from where I used to live in Germany, in the north. Like a woman was like the brown held together with the dark gray unspun yarn. I know it's hard to show you, but kind of cool to tell these kind of different yarns. But it's like this. It's going to be very cropped. I'm going to get it over the boobs probably, like under the sleeves, and then knit the sleeves and then see if I can find some more brown yarn for the body and see if I can get it a little bit more to the waist. But I like to have it very short and cropped because it's going to be practical for breastfeeding. Like I have to think about these things now to have things that are easy accessible for my boobs, so that they're either like a cardigan you can open in the middle, or a sweater that's not too long and I can just pull up over. Also when I'm doing the baby wearing, like wearing it on my body with these baby wearing techniques, I'm going to be warm enough on my body, so I only need warm on my sleeves under the jacket, I think. So yeah, that is it. It's fun. And this Collett cardigan, this Collett sweater is special because it has a very nice high neck, not high but a mock neck, and then the splits here, like the raglan decreases, they start here and then they split over the shoulder and shape the kind of shoulder and the arm. But I can't show you because it's too dark. I think. Can I? No, it's hard. It's pretty. I'm very excited about this one. I really like this dark brown. And these are all scrap yarns. And I'm knitting on another thing that I'm showing you afterwards. And there is also some colors that can be scraps for this one. So I'll have to knit to finish that other one, so I can finish this one. I still have this much of this unspun yarn, Ladybug. And then I have this beige drops, really old scrap, and this is also the drops yarn that I'm using in the beginning of the sweater. It's kind of Puna, it's called, and this one is the Nepal. They are really great, really soft. This one is, I'm really amazed about the Puna. It's perfect, it's soft, it doesn't get all these little, but this one does. This one is so, I have a sweater and it's like all covered in nibble, what do you call it? This fussel. In German we say fussel. And Danish knuller. So it's like, yeah, it's not best yarn, but it's affordable. And I also have this little leftover and this weird brown that I don't like, but I might use for it. So, and this bag. This is fun, like using all my scraps and using that in kind of color tones. I like that as well. Last whip, but not least, is before my camera dies, we're gonna make this. Okay, so everybody on my Instagram is knitting this one right now. Oh my god, me and these two short needles always. It's really hard to show things then. Okay, so everybody's knitting this at the moment, I feel like. Celeste sweater by Petite. Color word. I'm all in it for the colors. And also, now this is not a scrappy project, but it's a colorful project. And I'm enjoying it so much. And my battery is dying. Yeah, the battery died. I knitted a lot on the sweater that I was just showing you. had some food, I rested, I did the dishes, so I guess fine. Because not that productivity has to mean anything, you know what I'm saying? You have worth even when you're not productive. That is a thing that I'm learning still, but I was productive and also a bit lazy, and that felt good. So let's keep on going. I was talking about the Celeste sweater. I have no clue what I said, except for that it's really beautiful. And I'm almost, like I just worked some rounds. The blue here, down here, that's what I did. So the yoke is almost done. If you can see, like there's just about very little to size small, so it shouldn't be much more. So there's, I think, 3 rows of color work, and then they will go to the base color. And the base color is this one. I did not use it up here as she does in the pattern. So up here for the color, I'm using this very soft alpaca yarn that I had in my stash. I have 3 balls of yarn. It's from the store Grøn. It's one of their own brands. I don't know the name yet. Not right now. I'll put it down in the link below. So it's soft and it has the right thickness, because this one was a bit too thin to be up here. I think it looked a little bit too airy. I started this one over like 100 times, but only 3 times actually, but felt like 100 times. With Italian bind on, cast on. It's very, very, very nice. I really like that it's this Italian bind on, cast on. But it was a challenge. But now I think I've learned it and I nailed it. Like now I really know how to do it. I'm gonna do it again soon for a hat. Otherwise I was always just avoiding it. I was always just doing normal one. This time I really did it because I really like how it looks. And so the colors, let me try tell you what they are. So the blue, can I just lay it here? Then we can look at it while I talk about it. So the blue is this, like the blue and the base color and the dark gray. So it's dark gray, the blue and the base color. They are all from this brand called Sneldan. They can't come in these skeins. I don't know if you, yeah, they put on all of them, they put the price tag on the name. And I want to show you the name. Sneldan. Sneldan is this brand from Faroe Islands. My aunt has actually been to their fabric. Yeah, where they make this yarn and where they sell them too. Like they have a store and the fabric. I don't know, do you say fabric? The production. Let me just say production. She went to see the production actually, after I told her that I bought this in a shop in Denmark. But this blue on the base color, I have 2 of these skeins, and this is like one. There was 2, so there's one. They were always together for 3. Like they put 3 together, and then they spread them for you if you need what you need. Like I needed 2 of the blue. I thought I could use it for something else, and maybe the gray. I only just have this one, I guess. I just have the one that I wind up. So these 3 I bought. And I liked the combination, and I was going for it just like this for a sweater because I didn't know yet which one I was going to make. But then I decided on the Celeste sweater when I got home, and in order for that one I needed 5 colors. So I have these 3, and then together with that little, it's very little, the alpaca, I have 2 more, just too lazy to get them. These are the 4, and then with red, and I combined 2 reds to get the right thickness for the gauge, so it's too red. Let me tell you. Let me continue with the Snell-done yarn first. So this one fits the gauge, and this one fits the gauge, but the blue one doesn't fit the gauge because this is only 1 ply or something. I think it's 2 ply and the other one's a 3 ply, something like that. So I combined it with 2 strands of a very tiny thin silk mohair that I have with a little bit of polyamide that I bought secondhand once a long time ago, in the beginning of my podcast career actually, even though it's not a career, my podcast times. I bought this silk mohair and I winded, I'm very proud, I winded these up together all in a ball on my thing. You can see it in one of my last videos. I'll link it here, up here or here. Yeah, so I winded it up. I'm pretty proud because it really worked. So I'm knitting with this. The other ones are working like that. And then the red ones are 2 held together as well to get that. And they're 2 different ones, but they have actually almost the same color. This one is Isager sock yarn, and this one, it was a kind of also very no-name yarn, like nothing that you would know from a shop in Germany, and I just also forgot it. It's very thin and it's 100% super washed merino, I remember. So they are all held together, held double. Yeah, and that's what creates this beautiful sweater. So as I said, this is only for the collar, and then I will continue with the body and the arms with this one, and maybe do some color change on the arms or on the body if I feel like it, and otherwise I'll just maybe try and keep it as it is, knit it as it is, as it's said to be. So this is a really fun project, and I'm really learning to work with color work because I was always very intimidated and very scared. But somehow I got started, and I think also a friend told me, like, just take 1 row at a time and read the pattern and the chart. Don't get overwhelmed by the whole thing. Just see it for every line that it says, and that really helped me, as you can see. And I also have practiced with color work on my own patterns. Like, I have made a sweater without a pattern that I just did out of my head, and 2 times, something like that, with color change, and I just practiced the way of tightening or loosening and keeping the strings good in the back, like keeping them loose, not too tight. Looks just also really beautiful, I think. Yeah, so get started too if you're intimidated. It's a good sign, I think. Okay, that was my whips for now. Is also enough. And I wanted to also show you my yarn still, because I bought a lot of new yarn and it's amazing. I love to buy new yarn. So I showed you these. These I showed you. They are, by the way, pure new wool, so it's like pure, there's nothing in there. 100 gram, 260 meters per skein, and there's 2 skeins in this one, so I have a lot of meterage of the sweater. 3 of these, I hope it's enough. And then I have this one left, and that one is 100 gram and has 360 meters, so it's really long. So I can use this one after this for something else, like a hat or scarf, or I don't know, probably just going to be a color in another project. So I have that. And then I told you that Teve chose some colors for a neck warmer. These are the colors. So the brown is going to be the base color, because you always need for this neck warmer to have 2 strands of this kind of yarn together to fit the gauge. So I will have this one going through the whole thing and then change between these colors in some kind of fun way. He chose the colors. I think it's so cool and so brave. He knows what he wants. He's good at buying yarn, really good at buying yarn. And then this brown is going to be also all the way through, holding together with them. And then I had I ordered something, like a big order because I have translated some patterns for a knitter and I got yarn for it. So this is the yarn I chose as a payment. So it's not a sponsorship, I worked for it. These two blue is going to be a hat. This is again unspun yarn, same brand as I have before. Plötolopi, so it's from Lopi. The name of the yarn is Plötolopi. 100% wool, 100 gram and 300 meters. So it's a really long one. And it's a really nice blue, ice blue color. Maybe I just open it. I need it soon anyways. So this one. Unspun yarn. They are just so pretty and so special somehow. I think to knit with them is really a pain in the ass because it's just really difficult to rip back, but I want to learn to be better with it. And it smells like yarn, like wool. Reminds me of felting. Smells like that. Okay, so together with these, they're going to be a hat. Good. Next up. I have these three from Hjeltholt Uldspinderi called Sandnes Garn. It's the name of the yarn. It is a mix of Falkland Merino and Gotland Pelsull. And it's 200 meters and 100 gram per skein, so it's a long one. And it's going to be a sweater for me, a cropped sweater. I also, I've been talking a lot about always wanting things with colors, but I also wanted just a basic gray sweater because I have a green sweater that I wear all the time and then a beige one. And I'm like, I could really have one that is cropped and has a really good fit, but it's also fitting with all the colors that I have in my wardrobe. So that's why I'm going to have this one. Seems reasonable. And then I have ordered these three Jensen Garn, a yarn from Isager. I don't know yet. I don't know what my thoughts were with that. I think also another kind of colorwork sweater. Again, this is the beige that I always buy. I do wonder a little bit what I thought about this, but I think it can be a sweater or a vest, maybe some kind of vest. I don't know, but I think they could work really well with this one. If there will be some leftovers of this, or with the blue. Yeah, it was a little bit me like, what do I buy? Do I have a project? No, I don't. Okay, buy it anyways. And by the way, this one I didn't say, it's like the one for the hat, Filcolana Alva. It's like instead of silk mohair. It's two of them. It's for Teve. He chose these colors himself. For a vest, a V-neck kind of vest. And it's the same brand as the grey ones, and the same, yeah, totally the same, just not the color. And he chose a vest. And as I said, he's such a good, he's so good at buying yarn, so he chose this color and I'm kind of jealous because it's a kind of cool color. I think it's also good with my skin, maybe. Yeah. Alright. Well, I think we made it. All the way through. Thank you so much for watching for today's video. I hope you made it through to the end. If you did, thank you so much, and really be sure to give me a thumbs up and maybe even a comment, because that is the only way you can help me, and that's the best way right now, I think, to grow this channel, so that I can get out and reach more people and find more people that are like-minded like me and connect. But I really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you especially for coming back all the time, again and again, and commenting again and again. Thank you so much. I think you all know who you are, and I really appreciate you. I wouldn't keep doing this if it wasn't for you out there I mean, it's fun for me, but if nobody would want to see it, of course I wouldn't continue to put all this work and effort into it. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a good day, or evening, or afternoon, or morning, because I see that you are spread around the universe, around the globe. So we're not all just here in Denmark. So yeah, big kiss from me to you, and see you soon again on my channel. Bye.